So I recently picked up 3 Northern White-Cedars for a really good price at some local nurseries here. And I had a plan to take these cedars to a Western Red Cedar grove near my home. It's about an hour away. It's an old growth cedar grove. And I want to take my 3 trees there and style them in the grove. And so that's what I'm about to show you now. I hope you enjoy it. Everything didn't go exactly to plan, but I did come away with an initial styling on one of the trees that I'm quite pleased with. I hope you enjoy the video. This is the first time I'm going to do bonsai away from home, so I want to make sure I get everything. So I'm going to bring some pruning scissors, wire cutters, just pliers, because I think I'll probably make some gin, and a branch cutter, and all the wire I have, the thicker wire. Unfortunately, I don't know if this will be enough. If I'm going to plan to wire every branch, I don't think I'll be able to do that. But I'll just take what wire I have and see what I can do with it, because this is the day I have to do this and don't have time to buy more wire. All right, we're going to load these trees into my Jeep. Okay, I think I'm ready to go. Got the trees in the Jeep, got my tools. Told my wife where I was going. I have gas, filled up my left driver's side tire that has a slow leak. And yeah, I got some snacks, some food, some water. So I think I'm ready to go. Time to head to the mountain. There's the mountain, folks. That's where we're going. I'm on the mountain now, kind of driving the ridge of the mountain, and should be in the parking area to the trail to the cedar grove here in just a few minutes or so. Great fall color up here. Probably about peak. Lots of yellow leaves, some red leaves. It's beautiful. It's a nice day. Good day to be outside. There's some big cedars out there. So I realized I couldn't carry 3 trees and threw in a backpack at the last second so I could put a tree in the backpack and carry the other 2. So that backpack has all my tools and stuff and some water. And it's a beautiful day to be in the forest. And right down this way is where the big cedars live. So I'm gonna get going. So here's a comparison between a Western Red Cedar on my left here, native species, and the tree I'll be styling today, a dwarf variety of Northern White-Cedar. So both Thujas, but a little bit different. So I'm here at the grove, just arrived. It's beautiful, great light. There's even, I forgot there's a table over there where I can film, so that'll be nice. I'll do a panorama so you can see all the trees. And I'll do a shot now of myself next to a tree so you can see how massive these trees are. I love these 2 over here. I'll walk over there so you can see how big these trees are. I'm spending some time studying the trees to see how I can imitate them with bonsai. And it's kind of your stereotypical conifer with lower branches that droop. And then as they go higher in the canopy, the branches become more horizontal. And the branches reach fairly low to the ground on many of these trees. Although, you know, there's still some room at the base so you can see the bottom of the tree. So I am going to prune off the bottommost branches of my trees. But yeah, I think if I have enough wire, we'll see. I might wire some of those, especially the bottom branches, down a little bit. Alright, I'm going to get started. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. It really was interesting to study the trees, you know, because I've looked at these trees several times now, but I haven't ever really studied them with the intent of imitating them. And that's what I want to do a little bit. I mean, not too drastically. Really, it's not too much of a hard job because these trees are growing straight up. They have the same foliage. They look very similar already. These are dwarf varieties of a Thuja, and these are large Thuja that I'm surrounded by. So it's really not too hard of a job to make this look convincing, I think. But there are things we can do. What I am going to do is prune off these lowest branches right here, and I'm going to top the trees, probably gin the top. And I might prune off some of the bigger branches, and I might try and wire some of the branches down. We'll see how that goes. So I think this will take a while, and yeah, we'll see what my video turns out to be. But I'm gonna go for it and start pruning off these lower branches. Couldn't really ask for better weather. Also, this is fall, so good time to prune these trees. And I got these trees for cheap, really cheap. They were a great price to begin with. I mean, especially considering the trunk size. These are some really nicely formed, developed, thick trunks. At least an inch across, more like 1.5 inches. And they're very pot bound, extremely pot bound. So whether I plant them in the same pot or not, come spring, they definitely need to be repotted somehow or put in a bigger pot or something. I'm going to go ahead and prune this one off too. So it's normal this time of year, Thujas, they shed old needles, just like deciduous, even evergreen trees are shedding. And I think I'll go ahead and isolate these trees a little bit so you can see better what I'm doing. Just clean off some of these dead needles. And I actually like this tree because of the nabari on it. It's kind of a crazy nabari. And I remembered the cedars here, and they do have, you can really see the roots come out and flare. So I liked that about this tree. And I'm gonna take one of these two off. This splits right here. It splits. I'm gonna break one of them. So, which one do I want to prune off? Alright, I know I picked one. I picked actually the smaller one. Because this one, so this is a smaller one, I'm going to gin off. Because this one is more substantial, has more branching, has more options. So I'm going to go and do that now. Just going to snap it. Snap. snapped a little bit more. There we go. That's nice. Good snap. And yeah, do these trees have gins on them? Yeah, actually one of my favorite trees, the ones I showed for scale, it has some gin. As what did, it kind of actually did the same thing that this tree did, it looked like. 1 liter broke. So another liter took over. Pliers are great to have for gin work. Actually, there's such a tool called a gin plier, which I do not have. I kind of like the way that looks right now. I might get more of the bark off eventually, but I might leave it that pretty big like that. Now the other thing, I do want to shorten the tree. So how much do I want to shorten the tree? There's kind of a good tuft here, so I'm going to go ahead and snap this. As well as that. There we go. Alright, I'm going to step back and look in the tree and plan what I'm going to do next. Alright, readjusted the camera. Yeah, filming has been a little more challenging than I thought it would be. Anyway, also other challenge, this might be a 2-part video, or a 3-part, because I don't think I have enough wire to style all these cedars. And I didn't know if I was going to wire, but looking at these cedars, which I'm imitating, I mean, these lower branches droop. So off camera, I just kind of said, okay, let's see if I can make this look neat. I wanna work on it before I can you know, show this to people, see if it looks all right. And yeah, I'm liking the way it's looking because it is starting to look like the trees here, especially with this big root here. They have these big roots that spread out. I did see a dead top, so it has a gin here. And yeah, I want to wire these branches down, which I started doing. But the reason why I say there might be a part 2 is because I don't think I have enough wire to finish this tree, or I can finish this tree. I don't think I can finish all of the trees. So I'm gonna keep wiring now, and see, I'm gonna try and go all the way, most of the way to the top of this tree. And I've been pruning off the ends of the branches a little bit to make them shorter, you know, so reducing the branches, and then wiring them down. And yeah, I think I'm going to style this tree, and the others, well, I don't know, I'll haul them back up, and then I might have to come back. Oh, that would be terrible if I had to come back and do this. Unfortunately, I don't know when I'll have time to do that, but, you know, I'm sure I can find time sometime in the next little bit, or at least the next 2 months before it gets snowy up here and I can't return. So yeah, I want to wire this big beefy branch down. I don't have a good one to wire it to, so I might just wire it around the gin. Yeah, that's what I'll do. And yeah, I think I'm gonna run out of wire. And yeah, you know, I don't know, it happens. But I gotta say, you know, filming is a challenge, but a fun challenge. But just even with the ad challenge of the filming, the ads not, you know, it's difficult. More so than if I just was focused on what I was doing. Just being here is great. Working on a tree in the forest is really fun. Never done it before. And it's nice to be able to look instead of looking at pictures, because I think that's a great way to do bonsai is, you know, study pictures of trees, study trees. And so instead of looking at pictures, I can look at the trees and say, okay, like, should I prune this, you know, there's a branch here, should I prune it? And so I look at the tree and I say, yeah, I think I want to prune that based on what these other trees. And looking at these trees, I know I really want to swoop these branches down as much as I can, because their branches are quite droopy. And it doesn't have to be like a perfect imitation, but it'll be nice when I look at this tree, whether it is in a forest or not, in the coming spring. It recalls this cedar grove and other cedar groves to me. What's nice too, these branches, almost all the branches are really thin on this tree in proportion to the trunk, which is really nice, which is also what I see on these trees. I don't see big, thick branches. They're all quite thin like this. If anything, just to share this experience with people. And just the idea, I don't know if you've seen it from Ryan Neal, but yeah, I really loved when he went up to different environments. I feel like he went to Colorado, high elevation trees in Colorado. I can't remember the species. He went to like somewhere in Oregon to maybe like Tahoe. Anyway, he styled trees in their native environments, and it was a cool, and actually he gave me the idea to strap a tree to my backpack. I'm like, oh, I'll do what Ryan Neal did. He put a tree in a backpack to haul it up a mountain, so I thankfully didn't have to walk up a mountain. The hike here, it's not even a hike, it's like a walk really from the road. I can drive here. Based on my limited experience with my other Thuja, these trees are so tough. Another reason I love them. Alright, so I've said it a few times now, I think, as I've been filming. And that is, I don't know if I'm going to plant these in a forest. And you might be thinking, well, Bonsai Northwest, why not? It'll be super cool. But I'm in a forest. Here's my reason why. So I just had this inspiration. I was like, yes, I'm going to make a cedar forest planting. I'm going to style it in the cedar grove. It's going to be super cool. It's going to be a cool video. But then I started shopping for pots for it. And they're expensive. And then I started thinking, well, yeah, where am I going to put this planting? I have to build a new bench for it. Like, well, and then I thought, you know, I'm sure I'll be able to physically lift it, like I'll be able to, but like, do I really want to be lifting this big, heavy planting? Because I think it'll be pretty heavy. Do I want to have a planting that big? Because I'm usually more into like the smaller bonsai. And so yeah, this kind of goes against my usual, you know, bonsai creations. It's different. I'm usually more of a small bonsai kind of guy. You don't need as much space. Not heavy, like I said. So yeah, that's why I'm having second thoughts about doing a forest planting. Because honestly, this is a pretty cool tree with this feature and the gin now. It's kind of looking neat. I like it. But it would be quite impressive as a forest planting. I don't know, folks. We'll see what I do. I gotta say, one bonsai video that really had a large impact on me was Peter Chan. Heron's Bonsai, and he styled a spruce. There's a dwarf Alberta spruce, which actually I recently did a video on that, my dwarf Alberta spruce. But he styled a tree. He just took garden center material, which he often does, and much like this tree, and styled it. And he did basically what I'm doing now. He just kind of took the branches, and it's a pretty simple idea. You take the branches and you make them droop, wire them down. They're growing up, you make them grow down. And he did that to a few dwarf Alberta spruces. And I was like, wow, that is really neat looking. It looks like an old conifer now. He took this normal, everyday tree that you get from a garden center, wired the branches down. Now it looks like a bonsai. Or like a large version. I guess not a bonsai, it looked like a miniature tree, you know? Like a conifer that I see in the forest. Not necessarily like a bonsai tree that people sometimes think of when I think bonsai. They think left branch, right branch, back branch. Like, he just wired the branches down. And, let's see, which way I want that to go. Like that. And yeah, I realized, like, hey, I could do that. And then I did. I went and got a tree and I did it, and I liked the way it looked. And yeah, I think it was maybe one of those moments where I really realized I could make something that was kind of neat looking. So that's what I'm kind of trying to do now here again. Okay, back again. Kind of got some congestion going on up here. Alright, so I'm kind of to the top of the tree. I might wire some more down, but first I'm going to just prune it off and make it conical shaped. Because that's, or cone shaped, not conical, cone. Because that's what these trees are doing. You know, typical conifer, big cone. So yeah, I'll just prune the tops a little bit. And yeah, at the tops of these trees, the branches aren't necessarily drooping down as much. They're more horizontal, like so. Alright, I think I'm done, and I'm pretty happy with it. Honestly, it exceeded my expectations. I thought maybe it'd be more of a gradual process where I, you know, gave it a first styling, but it wouldn't look too good at first, and it'd have to grow and mature, and it will hopefully get better with age. But just the initial styling, it really does capture what I was going for. And that was one of these trees in this grove here, Western Red Cedar. Again, this is a Northern White-Cedar, or Arborvitae, Degroot Spire. But yeah, just wiring the branches down. This gin is a cool feature, I think. It's interesting to look at. And I like the gin's top too. And these roots, so this is it. And I realize now doing my spin, I forgot to do my before spin. Oh well, but this is it. Barely eked out enough wire for this tree, so it's kind of funny. Oh well. Maybe I'll come back. and do that another day. Maybe I'll come up 2 more times. I'll just do 1 tree per trip or something. But I'm loving this tree, and honestly, again, I might plant a forest. It'd be cool, and it would really capture the essence of this old growth cedar grove. These are a grove. They're very much growing close together. At the same time, this tree stands alone, I think. I think it stands alone as a neat creation in and of itself without 2 companions. So we'll see. So actually I ran out of wire and I ran out of battery on my camera. So I'm not ready to style 3 trees today. And that's fine because I'm very happy with this tree. So here's the final shot of 2 of my favorite in this grove. Western Red Cedar. I don't know how old these are. They're really old. And I found a nice place to set my bonsai representation. And actually, I really liked how this Western Red Cedar right here has this, you know, kind of, I don't know what you call it, this bump on the Nabari, this flare, and this tree has kind of the same thing going on. So here's my bonsai representation of these trees. And since they're both cedars, I think it does a pretty good job capturing what these trees look like. So amazing place, great place to work today. Really enjoyed it, but I don't have enough wire and I don't have any camera battery left either. So that's fine. I might just come back and style the other 2 another time. All right, I'm heading back down off the mountain now, I think. I think it's time to go. So hope you enjoyed it. I know I certainly enjoyed it. And I'll talk to you later.